to try to get kids more in line with, learning the education about being more educated about money.
Okay.
Because I noticed.
Why is that important?
It's important for these kids to learn money because a lot of kids don't know how to value a dollar. That's why every time you turn around, they're begging. Mom, can I get money for this? Mom, can I get money for that? They never really work for that money. So I think that if we change the dynamic of how we give our kids money and how we do things for them, it's going to have a bigger impact on their attitude with life, too.
How is the youth and summer employment for young men and women out here in the city?
What youth and summer employment? That's why they out here killing and shooting now, because there ain't no youth and summer employment. So
you saying it's pretty violent out here?
Pretty violent. The news and the world speaks for itself. It is violent. This is Cali.
I recently heard last week there were 9 people that got shot and 3 people was killed by gun violence. How does that make you feel? Being a mother of 2.
For the longest time, I've been saying I'm ready to go.
Right.
I'm still ready to go.
Okay.
But as a mother, it makes me afraid because as much as I want my children to be able to express themselves and explore the world, I know that I'm always going to have to over-mother them. And this is very scary. When you get paranoid when your kid is just outside in the front of the house and you don't want them to even go 3 doors down.
Right.
Because of everything that's going on.
What side of town are we on now?
Well, right now we're on the north end.
Okay.
We're on the north end. North end, we need to do better. Let's cut this fashion show out. It's done. The party's up. This fashion show got to come to an end. Y'all look good, but we saw some of the flyest dummies we got over here. And I don't mean to say that about people. I just want us to be a little bit more educated over here on the north end.
Right.
Let's stop cherishing what people have and start cherishing people for what they know.
What side of town we heading to now after this?
After this, we probably we'll hit the west. I got family over at the west. We're going to touch over
What's going on with the west? What are they doing over there? City leaders and things of that nature. You heard anything? I heard the west is very interesting.
I'm sure they talking. I don't really know too much outside of from what I experienced growing up.
Okay.
But we're gonna surface over here on the north end. They got a lot of nice things over here on the north end too.
Right.
Baseball fields, basketballs, basketball parks.
Are you talking about that excellent baseball field by Blackham School? Yeah. I heard about that.
Beautiful. My son played baseball out there for a few years.
Oh, really?
With North End Little League. The mess they got there.
I heard some things about North End Little League.
Opening day, just about every year, you got the coach and a parent ready to neck and neck. Police was at the last one.
What was that about?
Parent and the coach not getting along. They getting violent and loud. They scaring the kids. How's that helping anybody?
Can you?
They're taking. That's another thing that I want to address too.
What is it?
With all these activities and got.
Okay.
But that they, all the activities that they have going on. Look at that, nasty. These young boys, they don't care. That's sometimes where I think they got that saying from. Oh, you want to show your ass.
Right.
But anyways, with the baseball, with the baseball stuff, like with the kids and stuff, and them grown people out there yelling and screaming, the kids got scared. A lot of kids didn't return that following year because of all of this. But this has been going on a lot in North End Little League.
Oh, yeah? I heard about the reputation. I almost even
got into it with the people over there.
Really?
I pulled my son from North End Little League from one of the coaches getting nose to nose with my kid.
Wow.
I pulled my son middle of a game.
How did you handle that?
These adults are taking these children's sports and they're taking the fun out of it. Because they're so competitive in their own little freaking bubbles.
Right.
It ain't right. That made me feel very, very inflamed. I was ready to show them the Bridgeport way. Because you know how they say, Bridgeport, when we get upset, we get violent. At least that's what they used to say in Danbury. Me working in Danbury, coming from Bridgeport. Oh, you live in Bridgeport? Oh,
How's the perception outside of Bridgeport when you talk to people about Bridgeport? How do they feel about it?
Compton. That's how they look at us.
They looked at us baby Compton. That's dangerous.
Looking at us like some vigilantes.
Wow.
Got a bad view on Bridgeport. I remember working at this one job out in Wilton.
Right.
They used to have the TV on the news all the time in the cafeteria. Something from Bridgeport come on, you should see them. They used to light up. I tell y'all, look at that. Another one. Oh, it's just getting so bad.
That's how they felt?
Thank God I don't drive through Bridgeport. They didn't even know where I was from.
Oh, really?
Listen, one thing I learned about this world, if you don't learn how to adapt and adjust to your environment, you'll be systematically stuck wherever they place you. So yeah, when I'm around certain crowds, my voice gets different.
What's the best way to try to adapt to things and be somewhat chameleon-like?
Well, the first thing is always be yourself, no matter which way you got to change. But I think that most of the time is that when I say the question one more time, because I was getting ready to veer off to something else.
How can people get that chameleon-like style? How can they adapt and adjust? You mentioned about always being true to yourself and being yourself, but
right. So you want to be yourself at all times, and adapting to that chameleon lifestyle isn't always easy. But if you want a better lifestyle, you'll learn, and you have to learn through experience. You have to get around different people. You have to slow down when you're talking. You have to listen more, because sometimes we be so excited to be around people, and that's my problem. We be so excited to be around people and to talk and have that love for them that we just start ranting on them.
Right.
And we're not mindful of the things that we say. So sometimes when you're around different people, just slow down and listen most of the time. Don't always be the one to have that Me Too story or something to say on top of somebody else's story. The other thing too over here, it's a nice baseball field, granted. But why didn't they properly align us? They know that these cars, for instance, in this parking lot, park right here, these pop-up balls come up. These little fences don't monitor nothing. I've seen many balls come and pop up. Fix our stadiums up, and fix our baseball fields up, and fix our basketball courts up the way that they should be. There should be a concession stand at every baseball.
It's not a concession stand?
There is one here, but it's not open all the time. It's only open when they're having games and events. North End Little League runs that concession stand.
Wow.
In my opinion, it should be open this entire pandemic throughout the entire summer, even if ain't nobody doing nothing but
walking. Should always be open.
And they normally let the youth run it. So there's always 2 kids in there. And then the adult would either be watching from a camera up at the top or down in the bottom in the kitchen part with them, because they have a little kitchenette on the side.
Through research, I see we have one of the poorest educational systems in Bridgeport, Connecticut. How can we try to address that as well, which is very important?
We want to address it, we need to get rid of these.
Yeah. Why is that?
Cell phones took over everything. Technology is stripping us from actually learning, because it's so easy now to look things up and Google it. We're not taking the time to research it. We're taking the short way. I'm guilty of it. I've been winging it all my life.
Right.
Just kind of the way I've been getting by. And it's funny because...
Are you working on that?
Yeah, I failed this last class because I got tired of winging it. I could have passed this class and threw together a paper. And even though they say you only retain so much, like 10% of what you learn from college when you're outside of college, that's not where I wanted to go and not how I want to live my life, especially with my business. Because what happened is, what I started to do in school started to reflect on my life. Winging it through school, winging it through life. With my business. My business in the beginning was so unorganized, that's why I kept stopping.
Oh, really?
Kept stopping because I would overwhelm myself. I wasn't taking notes. I wasn't keeping track. I wasn't counting my money. So, and then on top of that, I wasn't separating what I was making from what I had.
It's very important.
I was combining it together. So when I went out shopping and bought something, I would use business money for personal expenses. I needed to separate.
So they have multiple fields over here?
There's 3. One, they're different sizes. So they got T-ball, the middle section, and then the bigger
older kids.
Yes.
Wow. That's all empty right there too.
Over here, I wouldn't mind. I've actually looked at a few houses over here.
You like this area?
Do I? Might be something to think about.
You ever felt like you wanted to give up?
Yes. I actually thought I was giving up, but I just keep coming back to my love, this hair stuff.
For a young lady that might feel like there's no hope out there and she wants to give up, what's some encouraging words you could tell her?
Don't. It's gonna be hard.
Right.
You're gonna cry. You're gonna have days where you can't control your emotions. You're gonna have those sleepless nights. If you have children, you're gonna have those days where it's just gonna be just you parenting. It's gonna be hard.
Right.
But you don't give up. Take your kids with you to do what you gotta do. Run your business. Matter of fact, put your kids to work with you. If you have a business. If you don't have a business, align your kids. You need to get to know these resources out here so that at least it relieves some stress from you. At least. Don't give up. It's more to life. Like don't let this world beat you down.
Are your kids a part of your business?
My children are a part of my business. More so my daughter than my son is.
Okay.
But that's gonna change very soon.
All right. What's some encouraging words you could give some young men out here? You being a woman and a mother.
Young men, I got a lot to say to y'all.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna start with the basics first.
Okay.
Your look is everything before you even open your mouth. At all times, it's important to be presentable. Believe it or not, people are judging you based off of how you look most of the times. They don't even get to open a chapter. I understand it might be hard out here for some people. I understand it might be a financial status. I know everybody, parents ain't got it like that, but there's resources out here. There are people giving away free stuff. There are the pantry, sometimes they give away food and things, food and clothes. Go there, utilize that.
Right.
At least get you 2 nice things. I mean, y'all find money to smoke weed. You can't find money to get a nice shirt, pair of pants. Don't mind the shoes. If they see you shirt and pants real nice, but your shoes is rough, they already know what you're working on. To me, I feel like give this brother a chance. Look at him. He put everything else together. His only problem is the shoes. Give him a chance. People say
now, what do you say to a brother that might tighten all of that up and still get looks at a certain way because, once again, how he looks? How do you tell? What's advice do you tell him to keep pushing?
That's where you gotta let the world know who you are a little bit more. You gotta let that voice be heard. You can't just be something that's sitting in the background moping down because everybody is not, understanding.
Are you doing that right now?
Of course.
Okay. Have you always done that?
No, I didn't take care of myself too much.
Oh, really?
Let myself get all overweight and unhealthy due to stress.
Okay.
Followed after a couple people who I thought were my friends and stuff like that.
How was your mental health at that time?
Mental health was bad. I was going through all kinds of depression.
Right.
I thought I was having suicidal thoughts, but I know I ain't got the courage to kill myself.
Okay.
But I just was kind of had the thought in my head, like, life would be a lot easier without me out here. But I knew I wasn't going to go through it killing myself.
Did you have children then when you had those thoughts?
I did.
Did that help you?
And the first time I had them was without kids.
Yeah.
Just from subject of being bullied. I understand why people always picked on me.
Right.
I was different. People saw the go in me before I saw the go in me. They knew I was powerful. They knew what type of person I was gonna be before I even became this person.
Were you discriminated against because you were light skinned?
Like a mother. I had people tell me I didn't understand what it was like to be dark skinned.
Oh,
I had
really?
people tell me I was privileged. I took shots from people with their little slick mouths, saying shit about being fed with silver spoons. Growing up as a kid, I wasn't fed with no silver spoon. My parents worked hard. That's the part that y'all missed.
Right.
There was times where my father didn't work and my mother worked 2 jobs. Now my mother don't work, and my father was working 2 and 3 jobs. Now he's down to 1 job due to his mental illness. A lot of people don't know that. Blood, sweat, and tears. My family, my mother and my father, they held us together, right, wrong, and indifferent. They held us together as a family, even when we didn't get along, even when I didn't talk to my father for a while, even when I didn't talk to my mother for a while.
What is your definition of family?
Sadly, I don't even know.
Oh, really?
Because the family I got, it seems like everybody's going through a breaking point and a transition point in their life where they're waking up, where they finding themselves.
Oh, really?
But I don't really know what the definition of family is. I mean, I was told that it was when everybody comes together through love and peace and just in embracing each other and having a good time. Yeah, we do that. But then it's only a short period of time before somebody comes out and wants to start talking about somebody in the family who ain't really doing so well. And instead of them coming together and saying, hey, you know, I overheard that somebody in the family is having a hard time right now. Can we all just take a few minutes and just say a little prayer for them? They don't do that. But they so holy and all into the church.
Right.
They don't do that.
No?
Nah, we got pastors in our family.
Really?
Hey, just about everybody go to church, give or take a few people. Why are we like this?
Did you find yourself picking up some of those characteristics of your family?
Talking about family members who I didn't even know if it was true or not, but because over the years from being a kid, sitting around that, listening to them talk about each other like a dog, it gave me that perspective of them. So here I am sitting in front of so-and-so talking about so-and-so, but I'm only reciting from what I hear. Not anything factual. That's why when I get around family, I tell them, let's stop that. I'm going to be the change. I'm breaking all that generational curse shit. I'm going to be the change.
How are you doing that? What's some of the ways you're trying to do that?
Well,
if you don't mind
my first test run going to be this next family outing, 4th of July. They do it all the time. Well, the next time I hear them bring up somebody's name, I'm going to stop mid-track and I'm going to say, can we just take a few minutes to say a prayer for this person? Because us sitting here talking about them is not going to help anything.
What led to this change in your way of thinking and way of living, hearing and seeing?
When you want to get to the next level in life, you got to make changes. You got to get rid of people. You got to ghost on your friends. I got sleepless nights, early mornings. I got nights where I could barely sleep because I'm always jumping up out of my sleep because of my ideas. A lot of people don't even know. I don't have nightmares. Nah, when I'm jumping up out my sleep, it's because I had a business idea. And I got to put it in works to start seeing it happen. But the change, like, it had to happen. I wasn't impressed with myself.
Oh, really?
I believe people could change, because I didn't.
Right.
I went from this nice, quiet girl being reserved to wilding out, sleeping with this one, that one, not really caring about much of nothing, drinking, smoking like crazy, doing all that, like, done with that. Gambling.
What's your definition of growth?
My definition of growth?
Yes.
It's not being able to beat yourself down when change happens. Growth is real deep for me anyways.
So you should welcome growth, even though it might be scary.
You should welcome it. Growth comes with negative too. You have to know how to handle it when it happens.
Right.
Because you know the world ain't gonna give it to you just like that. Say, okay, we're gonna let you grow. We ain't gonna give you no problems. go like that. Universe looked at me and said, okay, we're gonna let you grow. But as we let you grow, we're gonna throw some monkey wrenches out there.
Right. What do you do with those monkey wrenches?
Some of them you gotta step over.
Okay.
Some of them you gotta pick up. And when you pick them up, you can't hit nobody with them. Can't beat nobody up. You gotta pick them up and use them, because it's gonna be a part of a tool for you to tighten something or to loosen it up, to take it apart. Some of them wrenches you're gonna have to pick up.
Right.
And keep with you.
You have a few wrenches with you right now?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Do you feel someone that comes in your life unexpectedly could be one of those pieces to the tool shed?
I feel like people that come in your life, they're coming in your life for a reason.
Right.
Either it's a lesson or an experience.
I hear you use the word experience. What's the definition of experience?
Experience is a feeling. And this feeling is a good feeling for the most part. But experience is also this learning tool.
Okay.
It's a learning tool. So when I use it, it's because I'm not just a business. I am an experience.
Do you feel...
If you don't get to know me, you miss out the beauty and the conversation and the vibe that I offer.
Do you feel experience is the best teacher?
Of course. Whoever doesn't got to be dead dumb. Not thinking straight.
Right. When I'm going to say a word. I want you to give me whatever feelings come to mind when you hear this word. Bridgeport.
It's a lot of sadness. It's dark.
Right.
Summertime, but it's cold as hell.
AKA cold summer. You experienced a couple of those?
Not like this.
Okay. Right. Okay. Nubian.
Nubian is a royal word. It sounds so much better when you hear, look at the Nubians over there. That it has a tone of interest.
Yes.
Then look at them black boys over there. Because you know that when people say that word, your tone changes. Right. You don't hear too many people say, hey, look at those black boys over there.
Right.
Nah, look at those black boys over there. Now you can use the Nubian word with the same tone, but it just sounds different. Look at those Nubians over there. It almost grabs your interest. Like it forms itself to a question.
What side of town we on now?
This is the West.
Okay,
I always had a question about the West Side.
What's that?
On this one street on the West Side, Clinton Ave, and also over there on off of Connecticut Ave, why are the churches set up the way that they are?
So close or no?
Yeah, it's like they're for the community, but then you'll have like 4 or 5 churches all on the same strip. There's about 4 or 5 churches on the same strip. One is the Seventh-day Adventist church. One is this, I don't know what religious that is, but it's the Spanish church.
So what are you saying? Could you say and
I would like to see them come together. Where we could have one service together.
So you're saying we have a large
speakers.
Don't forget to your left.
Yeah, you got the mosque. That's what it's called, right? Excuse me.
Yes, Majir. It depends.
Imagine if we
know what you mean.
I mean, I get the whole church thing, but this is another form of separation.
It is.
They want us to come together. They want us to work with us. They don't want people bothering the Muslims, but the Muslims don't want to be involved with us. They don't want the Seventh-day Adventist people. Seventh-day Adventists, what do you say? Seventh-day Adventists.
Right.
They are so against so many things for whatever reason. To me, I feel like it's a cult.
Well, actually,
they don't believe
some people
all this other stuff.
Some people give that name to them in Jehovah's Witnesses. You know, not judging anybody's belief or spirituality, but I've heard that name before, a cult, because it's like it's basically their way or the highway.
Same thing with Jehovah's Witness. They
Right.
think that they are the only religion to follow.
So do you feel like even when it was implemented to us centuries ago, religion is a way to separate the people?
Oh, they knew what they was doing.
Huh.
They saw too many of us getting together. So they say, you
So
know
as
what?
we-
We're gonna
as we-
introduce them to Christians.
As we ride, I want you to let me know if you see a religious or spiritual center around. Actually, this used to be one, but as you can see, the state of that, and that could do a lot of things.
That was another thing.
That's the community
Why
center
do we
right there.
have so many buildings here? Everything's closed. Everything is closed. Could be a youth camp.
Give me some ideas.
Or a career center.
Give me some other things you think that
Homeless
could
shelter.
be. Right. What else?
Apartment building.
Mm-hmm.
A resource for young women and children in danger.
Mm.
Now this one right here
Emergency
says
shelter.
Re-Entry Ministry, a Christian home for drug and alcohol addicted women. What about the men?
Mm.
There's a higher number in drug and alcohol abuse with men than there is with women.
Right. How's the Nubian business scene out here in Bridgeport? Stores, gas stations, check cashing, restaurants.
Those are rarely in existence. Let me tell you
So there's a small number?
Yeah, there's a small number. And the ones that we think are black owned are actually owned by white people and Chinese people who put black people Nubian people into their establishments to draw us in. They think they slick. Just like these vending companies that we buy all these hair extensions and stuff from.
Right.
China makes that. And what does China do? They found a way to market to us. They put our face on it. That's what they do. They found a way to outsmart us.
Intelligence.
Yeah, and because we don't read, we're gonna buy it.
What comes to mind when you hear that? Intelligence.
Intelligence.
Yes.
What comes to mind when I think of intelligence?
Yes.
Definitely study. I think of a word. Study. You gotta study.
What does it mean to study?
It's to sit down and take some time to research. Can you pause that real quick?